Hello and welcome to another edition of Addition. I'm your host, Addy. I'm a product manager at Microsoft, a mathematician, a futurist, tech optimist, artist, and creator. And I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, bringing you the news, the hot topics in tech, so an update on the markets, as well as letting you know what I'm geeked out about this week, as well as some career advice. So before we get into the episode, go ahead and like if you are enjoying this video on YouTube, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. If you are a podcast listener, go ahead and follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I would love if you left a 5-star review, especially if you're a regular listener, and I know who you are, regular listeners who have not left a 5-star review. So please leave a 5-star review, and if you want to follow me on social media, I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Addition with Addy, Twitter at AdditionPod, and you can email me additionpod.substack or at gmail.com. Okay, so my email is additionpod@gmail.com. If you want the podcast in your email, you can subscribe to my Substack. It's additionpod.substack.com. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So let's start with the crypto markets. Bitcoin is at 20,658. It is up 3.66% over the past 7 days. Ethereum is at 1,186, and it is up 1.46% on the past 7 days. So we're seeing Ethereum gaining and Bitcoin continuing to be down, but Ethereum was down a lot worse than Bitcoin, so this is actually a good thing. So S&P 500 is up 2.48% over the past 5 days. The NASDAQ is up 2.05% over the past 5 days. So markets are moving in the right direction, which is great. So let's get into the hot topics in tech. So 3AC's Capital, which is a crypto hedge fund that I discussed on a previous episode of being at risk of default, is now in default. So long story short, they defaulted on a loan, they meaning 3AC's Capital, defaulted on a loan worth more than $670 million. And this loan was due to Voyager Digital, which I believe I talked about on a previous episode, which is another crypto hedge fund that's at risk. So long story short, Voyager does plan, I'll quote from the article, Voyager said it intends to pursue recovery from 3AC's Capital. In the interim, the broker emphasized that the platform continues to operate and fulfill customer orders and withdrawals. That assurance is likely an attempt to contain fear of contagion through the wider crypto ecosystem, end quote. So I am telling you right now, if you have money in Voyager, do not trust them. They likely do not have your funds. Get your withdrawals out while you can. And this is me just giving you the best advice based on the stories that I'm following here. I don't believe we can really trust these crypto hedge funds, these DeFi accounts. I don't think they actually, I think they were selling a dream, selling a marketing scheme. And now that the crypto market has gone down, they're not going to be able to deliver. So if you can withdraw now. If you're on a platform like Celsius, you don't even have the ability to withdraw. So take the withdraw as a blessing and take it out now. That being said, I don't know your whole situation, but if you can withdraw without losing any money, I would do it now. Okay, next article. This is from CNBC. So Coinflex issues a new coin to raise funds after investors fail to pay debt. So this is major red flags here. So I'm going to just read from the article. I quote, cryptocurrency exchange Coinflex on Tuesday issued a new token to raise funds in a bid to restart withdrawals for its customers after one client failed to repay a massive debt. Coinflex said it would issue $47 million worth of a digital coin offering 20% interest, which it's calling Recovery Value USD or RVUSD. It comes after the company paused withdrawals for customers last week, citing extreme market conditions and uncertainty involving a counterparty. On Monday, Coinflex published a blog post with more details about the counterparty. CEO Mark Lamb said in the post that a longtime customer's account went into negative equity. That prompted the company to halt withdrawals. Coinflex said in a normal circumstances it would automatically liquidate the investor's position, but the trader had a clause in his account that did not allow that to happen. That condition required the individual to pledge stringent personal guarantees around account equity and margin calls in exchange for not being liquidated, Coinflex said. The company declined to name the investor, but says the individual is a high-integrity person of significant means, experiencing temporary liquidity issues due to the credit and price crunch in crypto markets and non-crypto markets, with substantial shareholdings in several unicorn private companies and a large portfolio. By issuing the new RVUSD tokens, Coinflex will be hoping to raise enough money to cover the shortfall in its books left by the investor and resume withdrawals for users. It is offering a 20% interest rate for people willing to buy RVUSD to entice investors. We have been speaking to potential large buyers and believe there is significant interest in the terms presented, Lam said. But part of Coinflex's plan is hoping that it gets repaid by the investor, which of course may not happen. Lam told Bloomberg on Monday that he believes the investor will repay the company at some point in the future, end quote. So this is my advice to Coinflex. Do not expect that investor to repay you. Of all of the debts that this whale, which in crypto terms, like a large holder of crypto, of all the investments they have, I would say what they owe Coinflex is probably the last thing that is going to be paid. And also, I would not buy this RVUSD token. It's offering 20% interest. That's the same interest that Anchor was giving people on their Terra tokens, and we all know how that went. In this market, who is borrowing at 20% interest when you can get a mortgage at 5% interest? I'm confused. So just sharing that, and that leads me into my next story, which is an article from The Atlantic that goes into, let me read the tech meme title because that's my favorite. And tech meme is a great news source. That's where I get most of my tech news. So their article is, or their headline is, A16Z's Mark Andreessen and Packy McCormick failing to coherently explain Web3 use cases demonstrates the hollowness of the space, often obscured by boosterism. So this Atlantic article is basically a slam piece on the investors that have been pushing crypto and not being able to explain a use case for crypto. So I'm not going to go into it, but this is a hot topic in tech because as I've talked about in the episodes before, crypto is a tribal thing. Either you hardcore hate crypto or you're hardcore into crypto, or you're forced to be hardcore into crypto because you're heavily invested in crypto. But I have talked about this on the episode before. I personally don't believe the price of crypto has anything to do with its use cases or its technology. I think it's a movement. I think it is a culture. I think it's a tribe. If you think about it, when there was a crypto crash back in 2017, 2018, there were no NFTs, there was no DeFi, there literally were no use cases at that time. So and we know how much those coins, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, have gone up since 2017. And yes, they are getting back down to their highs from 2017, but still there was a long period of time when the investment went up. So I really don't believe that Mark and Packy not being able to explain crypto use cases means anything. They know for a fact that they're investing in companies that are building products for Web3 and that there will always be people who want to use Web3 products. Will it be that many? I don't know. But as you can see in the articles that I shared earlier, people are using Web3 to take out $47 million loans. Like someone is finding a use case for it. And if it's not you, that's fine. Like, I guess people like to debate, and I'm glad a debate is happening about crypto Do I have my doubts about crypto? Do I feel dumb sometimes for putting 10% of my portfolio in crypto back in January? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm deciding not to sell, and maybe I will lose all of that money. Maybe I won't, but I don't know why this is so personal for people. Like, I really don't get it. And if you can leave a comment or send me an email as to why people viscerally hate crypto so much that they literally cannot stop talking about it, please explain, because I don't understand. I get way more pressure to buy a house or buy a car than I do about buying crypto. I feel like if I'm getting pressure to buy crypto, I'm going out looking for it. Like, I'm on YouTube asking what are the benefits of Bitcoin. Whereas like I'm bombarded every day with pressure for people trying to get me to buy a house or a car. I have not bought a house or a car. So I just don't get it. I really don't get why people are, I think maybe people's portfolios down, but they see cryptos down worse, and pointing at crypto makes them feel better about themselves. I don't get it. Okay, so last news, Airbnb's party ban is now permanent. This is from The Verge. I quote from the article, in 2020, Airbnb introduced a temporary ban on house parties and events to better follow social distancing restrictions with the pandemic. Now the company says it's been so pleased by the outcome of the ban that it's making it permanent and codifying its rules. Over time, the party ban became much more than a public health measure, said the company in a blog post. It developed into a bedrock community policy to support our hosts and their neighbors. The ban prohibits all disruptive parties and guests, with a particular focus on open invite gatherings, those advertised on social media, and party house properties. Disruptive parties and events are essentially defined as those that attract complaints from neighbors. Airbnb says it suspended the accounts of some 6,600 guests for violating the party ban in 2021, though this is a tiny figure considering that the company has more than 150 million users. Whether this is due to lax enforcement or infrequent violations, who can say? End quote. So I would say this makes sense. No one wants to rent their house to someone who's having a party, but I truly believe this is impossible to enforce. It's pretty easy to create a new Airbnb account if you're banned. You can just get a different phone number. And in likelihood, people aren't going to report every single party. But I guess maybe making this ban official, neighbors are going to be more likely to call if they see an Airbnb house throwing a party. But that makes me concerned because they're defining disruptive parties and events as those that attract complaints from neighbors. Depending on the neighbor, they just might not like the look of the people. They may not be having a party at all, and they may have a bone to pick with the person who owns the house and doesn't want them to rent them out. Maybe, I just don't know. I don't know how this can be fair. And it also makes me wonder, there are some families out there that have like 10 kids, and, just the nature of them existing in a house may be loud and disruptive. So I don't know, but I'm just sharing that to give you an update. So the career segment, I'm going to ask you all, what is your policy when it comes to taking vacation at work? So do you take vacation within the first 90 days of work? Do you wait a year? Do you wait 6 months? I'm really curious because, in theory, we have our vacation time. And if you have unlimited vacation, just ignore this, because that's a whole different struggle, taking vacation when you have unlimited vacation. But if you have a set amount of vacation days, what is your strategy to take vacation? And I'm asking you because I don't have a great one, to be honest. I typically take vacation during the holidays, and that's it. And, if I feel extra burnout, maybe I'll take a day off or something here and there, but I typically, and maybe I'll add on to a 3-day weekend or something like that. And the reason why I struggle to take vacation is because the work that I have to do to set them up for while I'm away, and when there's just never a good time, and I personally struggle for it. So I'm asking you all as my listeners to help. Okay, what am I geeked out about this week? Summer rain, because sometimes summer is a lot of pressure. It's like, if you follow me on TikTok, you've been seeing I've been doing everything. I've been doing pool parties, I've been doing rooftops, I've been doing patio things. And once I saw that it's going to be raining in Atlanta pretty much for the next week or two, it kind of made me feel like I had an excuse to not necessarily do the most. I need a break. I need a vacation from summer a little bit. Atlanta is a lot. But yes, that's today's episode. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.